Good evening. To God be the glory. God be praised forevermore. God be blessed and praised forevermore. Ooh, give yourselves a hand. You are good. Well, they say never start a concert with a song that people don't know. So guess what? We're going to do it anyway. The words are very simple. The words are bound together and finely woven. Say those words. Bound together and finely woven with love. Let me show you how the tune goes. It's real simple. Well, we are bound together and finely woven. We're bound together and finely woven. We're bound together and finely woven with love. That's all there is. Here we go. Let's sing it. Well, we are bound together and finely woven. We're bound together and finely woven. We're bound together and finely woven with love. All right, stand up and here we go. Well, we are bound together and finely woven. We're bound together and finely woven. We're bound together and finely woven with love. Oh, we will sing and dance when a dream is born now. Sing and dance. It's a joyful morning. Sing and dance for the joy of birth now. Sing and dance. Let your music echo around the earth. Whoa, we are bound together and finely woven. We're bound together and finely woven. We're bound together and finely woven with love. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot one very important thing. This song always accompanies a declaration. In other words, we say something. And what I want you to do is to go find as many people as you possibly can and say in their ear, you are the light of the world. Okay? 1, 2, start right now. Bound together and finely woven. We're bound together and finely woven. We're bound together and finely woven with love. Sing and dance in the morning sun. Sing and dance by the rivers running. Sing and dance in the pale moonlight now. Sing and dance and let your music echo in the night. Whoa, we are bound together and finely woven. We're bound together and finely woven. We're bound together and finely woven with love. Oh, wait a second. Whoa. There's one more verse. And that means there's one more declaration. I want you to go to as many people as you can and say, guess what? You are the salt of the earth. 1, 2, here you go. Bound together and finely woven. We're bound together and finely woven. We're bound together and finely woven. We got the drum. Oh, sing and dance in the city streets. Sing and dance, make the night grow sweeter. Sing and dance, gather everybody round. Sing and dance, let your music fill this weary town. Whoa, yeah! Well, we are bound together and finely woven. We're bound together and finely woven. We're bound together and finely woven with love. One more time. Bound together and finely woven, we're bound together and finely woven, we're bound together and finely woven with love. Oh, finely woven with love. Yeah. When I hear the children playing in the sunshine, when I hear the gentle sound of lazy summer rain, when I hear the north wind blowing in the treetops, when I hear the birds announce that spring has come again, words of praise are all that I can say. And when the words have died away, then my heart will still be praising you. For you are the mystery of love, in whose life I live and move, and I will praise you night and day, and that is all that I can say. When I hear a stranger speaking words of kindness, when an old friend's greeting takes me by surprise, highly Turner, when beneath my window someone's voice is singing, when the old man tells me stories, when the baby cries, words of praise are all that I can say. And when the words have died away, then my heart will still be praising you. For you are the mystery of love, in whose life I live and move, and I will praise you night and day, and that is all that I can say. But the life I wanted gives way to one much better. when a hated enemy becomes a trusted friend. When my disappointment turns to understanding, when a bad beginning becomes a hopeful end. Words of praise are all that I can say, and when those words have died away, then my heart will still be praising you. For you are the mystery of love, in whose life I live and move, and I will praise you night and day. And that is all that I can say. I will praise you night and day, and that is all that I can say.
Friends, welcome to Hendricks Avenue Baptist Church. For those of you who may not know me, my name is B.J. Hutto. I'm the senior pastor here, and I have come before you now to bring you good news of great and glad tidings. Not just that we have more music from the great Ken Medema to enjoy tonight, and not even just that the Jacksonville Jaguars have a double-digit lead well into the third quarter over the Chargers. Yes, a miracle on the level of the loaves and fishes. No. I'm here to tell you that tonight you have an opportunity to change lives. Since 2013, Amani Sasa has functioned in the capital of Uganda, helping refugees rebuild lives away from home and indeed build a new home. Under the stable leadership of Reverend Missy Angalla, Amani Sasa helps over 3,000 people every year, and they help them in every way that they can. Uganda has over 1.5 million refugees, even though it is a country the size of the state of Oregon. One of the top 5 countries in the world for refugee population, and yet there's not a government program. There's not even a program from the United Nations to support these people. And so Missy and her team have decided to step into that gap. They offer crisis intervention, emergency services, individual and group counseling, vocational training, nursery school for children, on and on and on. They change lives. And tonight you get to help them. By being here tonight, supporting them, giving an offering, bidding on items out there, you get to fund their mission, and you get to be a part of it from your home here in Jacksonville. So please listen to the stories that you will hear tonight. Go and bid. Bid against your friends. Bid against your pastors, except me. If you feel so inclined, bid against your own spouse. But bid. Support this ministry and take something home that will help you remember to support it and to love it and to pray for it in the weeks and months and years to come. And now, because showing is always better than telling, let's watch a video about a 2019 graduate of their programs and a child who has come through those programs as well.
And I became I'm Nema Sharifa, Feva's mom. I'm a graduate of MOMS program. I graduated in July 2019 and I became a staff at Amani Sasa in 2019, August. I'll say a little bit of Favor's journey. I would say she is favored as her name. When she has been really a good girl and she has been a blessing to my life. Favor, she grew up from Amani Sasa, and everyone at Amani Sasa was just around her. Yeah, and she has been loved so much by everyone. I'll never forget this day when we went for the retreat and everyone was just around her. Like, it made me feel great. Yeah, to see a child being loved like that, it was really a blessing to me. When I joined at work, I didn't know where to leave my child, but when we came and you started looking after her, she has never remained the same in her life. She has been loved. I would say she knows what love is. Yeah, not only home, but she knows that she have her aunties here. Yeah, I'll never forget when Pancho shared. He shared something and even shed tears, and it was like, this girl is the heart of Amani Sasa. It was really so touching. Yeah, and I've really seen her being the heart of Amani Sasa. Yeah, since she was still a baby and even up to now. Yeah, and she's really growing so fast. We were just there with Miss and she took her first step and it was really amazing. She has learned a lot from you. She has learned how to play with other kids. She knows how to handle things and how to speak. She learned these things from you. Even sometimes I even wonder, she comes and sings for me sometimes, and it's really amazing. I'm so grateful for Amani Sasa, for the impact and the love that it has shown me from the time when I was pregnant until now. I'm so grateful for walking this journey with Favor. Your support has helped me and my daughter to rise to her full potential. Thank you.
To stand beside, to walk before, over time, over years. This song I dedicate to Amani Sasa, to the work that they are doing, and also dedicate to two families in this beloved community of faith who have lost loved ones, the English family and the Maisie family, because this church stands beside as well. This church walks before as well. I shall walk in the sun with you. I shall stand in the rain. I will be with you when you wonder why, wonder why. I'll be glad when you are glad. I'll be there in your pain. I will be with you when it's time to cry. Some friendships flash like a rocket, and then they fade away. Some Some friendships last for an hour and some last for a day. I don't know how to name this friendship, and I won't even try. All I know is you need this connection, and so do I. 'Cause we are bound together like sound and music, like sky and morning, like flowers and rain. Down the years on 1,000 highways we'll find each other time and time again. I shall tell you my secret name, the one that nobody else will ever know. I will hold your hand when you feel alone. I will follow the path of our friendship everywhere it goes. I will learn when to leave you on your own. Some friendships sparkle like diamonds, and then they turn to dust. Some people keep trying harder, but they never do learn to trust. I don't know what to say to you sometimes. I don't know what to do. All I know is I need this connection, and so do you. 'Cause we are bound together like sound and music, sky and morning, like flowers and rain. Down the years on 1,000 highways, we'll find each other time and time again. This next song was written in 1982. I was living in San Francisco, and our little Baptist church that maybe we had 50 people on a good Sunday saw the need for sheltering refugees from Central America who were coming up and ended in California and had no place to stay and were being chased by the Department of Immigration and Naturalization, now called ICE. And so we decided that we were going to shelter these refugees, illegal as it was and illegal as they were. So we set up a little shelter in our basement. And at the end of the first week, we were sheltering about 25 or 30 people in our basement. We had a fully equipped kitchen so we could fix a meal. And about the end of the first week, there was a knock on the door. Immigration! Open up! Do you have a warrant? No. Good, we're not opening the door. And we didn't. We never did. We sheltered for several years. That shelter has turned into a huge community service organization now, started by that church. The condition of refugees is the same all over the world, isn't it? Homeless, hopeless, wondering, how am I going to be fed the next day? So we're going to perform this song together. You are the rhythm. It goes like this. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, I am a stranger here in a strange land. I've left behind me my home and kin. I am an alien, I am unwanted, and there is no one to take me in. Who will befriend me? Who will defend me? Who will extend me an open hand? Who will walk before me? Who will stand beside me? For I'm a stranger here in your land. Down in my homeland, place I was childhood, the sound of weeping is never still. Down in my village, place of my childhood, the soldier enters to maim and kill. And in my dreaming, I hear the screaming of those who suffer beneath his hand. Who will stand beside me? Oh, who will walk before me? But I'm a stranger here in your land. Here in your city, I speak my people who know my sorrow, who know my pain, who speak my language, who love my homeland. And from the ashes we'll build again. My heart is burning, my soul is yearning for my returning to my own land. Who'll stand beside me? Who'll walk before me? I am a stranger here in your land, here in your land, here in your land, here in your land. Missy.
Her name was Jenna. She grew up living in poverty along with 5 other siblings. Jenna's home was not safe. She experienced various kinds of abuse, was told she was worthless. She often found herself feeling shame and despair and asking, what is wrong with me? When Jenna was around 20 years old, she had a baby. And as much as she tried to love this baby, it was just too much for her. Life was too much. She felt so much heaviness and despair. So she left this baby. Jenna is actually not from Uganda. Jenna is from the US, and the baby was me. When I was 1 year old, my mom, after going through a very, very difficult life, left me. Fortunately, I had relatives, my dad and my grandma, who stood with me, who loved me and kept me safe and made sure that my life had a different trajectory, made sure that I knew that I was loved and cared for. But as a baby going through this very traumatic experience, I often wondered growing up, what is wrong with me? When I became a Christian in high school, what really stood out to me was the incredible power that God loved me, that God created me, that I was created in God's image. Because for so much of my earlier part of my life, I felt unlovable. But God loved me. And when I felt called into ministry, my heart has been to minister among the people who feel unlovable. See, Amani Sasa exists to minister among the people who have also gone through so much trauma, who are experiencing despair, who have so much weight on their shoulders, who feel like giving up. But at Amani Sasa, we have hope because we have seen the power of God to do infinitely more than we could ever ask or imagine. I serve now full-time as the executive director of Amani Sasa, and I'm the founder. And the heart of our ministry is to minister among the most vulnerable, the most neglected refugee families and individuals in Uganda, people who fall through the cracks, people who are homeless, living in poverty, who are in despair. And we want to welcome them into our community and share love and hope with them. We welcome them as family. Oftentimes, our community members, when they first come to our office, they come scared because they have sometimes been rejected, because they have trauma, because they might have been told by whoever in their lives that they are not welcome. But at Amani Sasa, we are in the ministry of welcoming. No matter where you come from, no matter who you are, no matter what country you're coming from, you are welcome at Amani Sasa because we believe that God loves you. God loves you. God created you. And Francis and I serve alongside of 33 other East African staff, half of whom are program graduates. And every single day, we welcome our refugee neighbors. As they come for emergency services, as they come for trauma healing, as they come to get new skills, they often come with so much burden, so much despair, but it's amazing to see over time them unpacking that heavy burden, unpacking that heavy laden, and coming just as they are. The process of healing and transformation is incredibly messy. But at Amani Sasa, we exist to walk with refugees through that process because we believe in the power of a God who can do infinitely more. And I personally know that deep, deep, deep within my soul because I have experienced it. I have experienced feeling unlovable to loved, knowing deep inside of my heart and my soul and my mind, I am loved, I am created by God. And that is absolutely life-changing. All human beings need to know that message, not just in their mind, but in their hearts and spirits, in their soul. They need to know how deeply they are loved. At Amani Sasa, we have seen God transform thousands of people's lives over these years. It is incredible to see. Jenna was one of our recent shelter graduates, and when Jenna came at the beginning of the year, she came with so much heaviness, so much despair. See, Jenna is originally from the Congo. Her family fled from the Congo to Uganda seeking a better life, but they found themselves often homeless, often without food, struggling just to survive. And as Jenna went out at the young age of 16 to try to sell this bread, to try to make just $1 for her family to eat, people made fun of her. People wouldn't talk to her. She shares that she often asked God, why me? Why did you create me? But when she came to Amani Sasa, for the first time in years, Jenna felt welcome. Jenna felt like she belonged. And it's amazing to see this incredible journey that she has gone on as she's accessed counseling and group therapy, and as she has learned about God's hope and love and purpose for her. It has changed her life. Jenna no longer walks around with those heavy burdens. Jenna still has experiencing different challenges as refugees are experiencing, but now she is not alone. She has skills that are helping her work. She has a relationship with God that helps to sustain her even when she feels challenges. She knows God is walking with her. That is why our ministry exists. And we are grateful for you all taking the time tonight to come to this concert, to learn more. And thank you so much, Ken, for the beautiful music that you're sharing.
Francis, I want you to come and get in position, but just before we sing our song together, I can't help responding to what Missy has said to you. God, will you be my mother? God, will you take me to your breast? God, I never had a father. Do you have a lap where I can rest? I never had an older brother to show me how life should go. I never had an older sister to tell me that she loved me so. So God, will you be my mother? Will you be my family? Bring these sisters and these brothers to come and hold hands with me. God be a mother to me. About a week ago, I got a chance to hear some of the music that Francis Angalla has written and produced. Francis is the loving husband of Missy and quite a musician. Has produced a great deal of music, and some of it he has rearranged, some of it he has written himself. And today we met, or last night actually we met, but today we got a chance to work for the first time. And you know how exciting it is when musicians get a chance to jam together? It is pretty awesome, let me tell you. And so we actually have had an opportunity to jam together, and we're going to make some music. You want to tell them what we're doing now?
Yeah, the song says, I lean not on my own understanding. Just rearranged a bit of the melody line and added another chorus at the very end of it. I lean not on my own understanding. My life is in the hands of the maker of heaven. I lean not on my own understanding. My life is in the hands of the maker of heaven. I give it all to you, God, trusting that you will make something beautiful out of me. I give it all to you, God, trusting that you will make something beautiful out of me. I will climb this mountain with my hands wide open. I will climb this mountain with my hands wide open. I will climb this mountain with my hands wide open. I will climb this mountain with my hands wide open. I will climb this mountain with my hands wide open. I will climb mountain with my hands wide open. I will climb this mountain with my hands wide open. I will climb this mountain with my hands wide open. Jesus, 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 friend forever.
Francis, that's one of those sweet moments that I will remember for a very long time. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Most of us, I would say all of us, have had those moments when we needed help. Would you agree? Yeah. And so what I want to do for a little while right now is I want us to have a couple of stories from our audience about a time when you really needed help. I remember a day when I was in college and it was winter and the snow was on the ground and I couldn't find the sidewalk. I got hopelessly lost. And I was freezing. I was on my way to class. It was a sub-zero temperature day. And I could not find the way. I could not. And I kept, I'm lost! And nobody was anywhere near to hear me. And I was out there for an hour in the freezing cold. Finally, somebody came along, got me on the right path. We've all had those moments when we desperately needed help. And what we're going to do is have a couple of stories about those moments from you. So the way we'll do it is that we have a mic out here, and in a minute, you're going to go to that mic, and you're going to tell us that story about a time when you needed help. How did you get the help? Who came along? And then I will compose a song based on your story. And so I will start like this. Fly with me on the wings of your story. Take me to someplace you know. Run with me down the roads you have traveled. I want to follow where you choose to go. Sail with me down the rivers of your memory. We'll sail together. There's so much to see. Fly with me on the wings of your story. Time's all we need, my friend. Come story with me. So who's going to be my first storyteller of the night? Stand up, go to that mic. We'll clap for you like you're the king or queen of all storytellers. Who's going to be number one? Who's going to be our first storyteller?
Okay.
Oh, okay. We're going to clap for you first.
No,
Applause.
Just clap for me.
Okay, all right. Go ahead.
So when I was in college, and I was in college later in life, I was in my middle to late 20s. I was living in Valdosta, Georgia, and I was living in an apartment above a house, sort of like an attic apartment. Nobody lived downstairs. It was just me and my cat. And so I was living there by myself. I went into school, and I was sitting in the lobby of the education building. I was an education major, and I was sitting there contemplating the fact that I had nothing to eat. And I didn't have any money, and I didn't know what I was going to do. I was not going to call my father because he told me that I needed to make it on my own. I had kind of, messed up in my early 20s or my 18, 19. And he told me if I ever wanted to go to college after that, I was on my own. I had to pay my own way. And I was doing work study, but my paycheck was not due to come out for another day or two. And so I sat there with my stomach rumbling. I didn't have anything to eat. So one of my, I was a member of, at that point, I was a member of a United Methodist church in town. And one of the ladies that I went to church with came over and she saw me and she says, "Hey, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm just sitting here thinking about food because I'm very hungry and I don't have any food." I think I had a little bit of rice and a can of little early peas. That was it. That was what I had in my house. And so I was thinking about the dinner I was going to make of rice and peas. And she said, "Well, I thought you had a job." I said, "Well, I do, but, it's just work study. They don't pay a whole lot." So I said, I just asked her, I said, "Could you just pray for me? I would just appreciate it if you prayed for me." And I was not going to ask for help. And so I went home and I crawled in the bed, me and the cat, and I had such a headache and because I was so hungry. And so I fell asleep and I woke up to a knock at my door. And so I got up and I went to the door and I opened it and there was nobody there, but there was $200 worth of food on my porch. And it still gives me, a little bit of a tear now. And nobody would ever come forward and say that they had done it. But I knew that, the people that apparently she got on the helpline and called all the people in the singles group and said, "Morgan's gonna, waste away if we don't get her some food." And so, that was the time when I needed help. I didn't know what to ask for because, you don't want to be embarrassed and say, "Hey, can you feed me?" But feed me they did. And to this day, they have never admitted that they brought that food and put it on my porch. But it was help when it was needed.
I remember the day when God called all the angels. "Hey, y'all, come to the window and take a look. Look what's out there on Morgan's front porch. Better put this one in the book. Remember, I was hungry and you fed me. I was thirsty and you gave me drink. I was a stranger and you took me in." That's what he said. Now take a look. So we wrote the story in the book of heaven. They'd never admit anything, but we knew exactly what was going on. Oh, it makes the angels want to sing. Little bit of food on the front porch. One happy lady, happy cats. Little bit of food on the front porch. God said to the angels, "Now what do you think of that? Little bit of food on the front porch. That's the way the church should be. Little bit of food on the front porch. That's the way the church should. That's the way the church should. That's the way the church should be." Another story. A time when I really, really, really needed help. Who's going to do it? Who's going to be my second storyteller? We've got time for two more quick stories. Who'll be next? Who will be my storyteller?
My name is Cindy.
Hi, Cindy.
I normally
Clap
wouldn't.
for you. Applause for Cindy, please.
Well, this category wouldn't normally be my category because I'm one that prides myself in not normally needing help. But this was certainly a situation many decades ago where there was no choice but to get some extra help. I was skiing out west, and I'm a decent skier for a Florida girl, but this was a situation where we're just on a flat road and you're just coasting. You think, no big deal. You're not really paying that much attention because it's no big deal. And I had my brand new ski suit on. I was so proud. A lot smaller than what I could wear at the moment. But anyway, many decades ago. So I'm cruising along on this road and going around a turn, and I caught a ski funny, and I was probably too close to the edge of the mountain where you're not supposed to be. And as I caught this ski, I went down the side of the mountain where you're not supposed to be, which is the slickest ice you can imagine. 20 feet, 50 feet, 100 feet, I go sliding down past boulders. Can't do anything. No, I can't claw anything. I can't reach for anything. My poles are somewhere left behind. I go sliding down. Tim, my husband, is maybe a few steps behind me, but he saw me going down, and I won't introduce him to the story, but anyway, he's thinking, oh my goodness, what do I do? So are you okay? I'm way down the mountain. Can you get up? I'm like, no, I'm not hurt, but I can't. As soon as I tried to move to grab a pole or a glove or anything, another 20 feet down this slick, it's in between roads, like a road where I was, and then another whole level way down where there was another road. But there was no way I could get to the next level down without risking falling again. So my husband was standing on the road kind of looking bewildered as another gentleman skied by. Tall and, based on his accent later, probably European and an excellent skier. He stopped and asked my husband, did he need help? Yes, certainly I do. He said, my wife, I'm up here and my wife is down there and she doesn't know how to get out of that situation. So he slipped his way down that ice. I have no idea how. He was beyond expert and made his way down to me, planted his pole where I could race myself and get one ski on. He collected my other ski. He held me fast so I could get my skis reattached and make it probably another 50 to 100 feet down to the next road level. But had he not come along, who knows, we would have had to call the rescue or something, even though I wasn't hurt. But we were so thankful a stranger happened by, the right stranger at the right time to get us out of that situation. So.
Just when you think you are cruising along and everything's going fine. Just when you think it's all sunshine and roses, you've left all your troubles behind you. Just when you think you certainly know just exactly what's going on, that is the moment you'll slip from the road and down, 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 down. And before you know it, you'll be in a mess. And before you know it, everything's changed, rearranged. Everything's changed, rearranged. And you're singing the blues. You don't know what to do. And if someone doesn't come along, you know you're gonna freeze tonight. Just when you think there is no way out, somebody comes along. Just when you think no way out, here is a hand, wonderful and strong, lifting you up from a desperate situation, lifting you up from the cold, cold ground. And just when you think you have been helped, take a look around you. There's somebody down on that mountain you see who's needing some help from you. One more story. One more story and then an offering. One more story. Who's got it? Who's got our last story? Who's got our last story?
I'm laughing because I don't normally share my story
Well, we're
in
gonna
public.
We're going to have some applause for you first before
Oh.
you. Okay. Good.
I'm Courtney Hester, and I was just thinking as I was sitting here about the importance of community and joining together for things like this, and then I thought, okay, I'm going to share my story. So really it's God, because I don't really like to share my story. But I, at 18, lost my mother a couple weeks after high school graduation. My father had passed away, and all my grandparents had passed away. Had some aunts and uncles who, now being quite a bit older, understand they've had some mental health issues. So they really they didn't really help, but hadn't really been a part of my life for up until then. And so at 18, not knowing how to even write a check, it was this church that helped me by each using their gifts in the community. It wasn't one person. Certainly the people sitting on the pew that I'm on are a big part of my life and became like family to me. Also across the room, the Warners became like family. The Rogers are sitting next to me. But people who stepped up, I needed someone to help me sell my house. So a woman by the name of Lori Hershey did it completely pro bono, what she had to charge, but helped me to sell my house. Another person by the name of Rob Cruz and Robbie Cruz. Rob Cruz has passed away, helped me to make some necessary repairs on the home before it could be sold. Someone else by the name of Jack Mitchell helped me to manage the life insurance that I received so that I could make it through the next 4 years and know what to do. Eleanor Rogers opened her home for me to live in. I can't look at her. I don't want her. Kevin and Susan Rogers invited me to so many things and helped me to feel loved in a time where I knew that I had to fill out paperwork for college that said I was an orphan and a ward of the state. So I knew that legally I had no one to care for me if I was in the hospital, anything like that. So I say all that. I could go on the list for a long time. I went off to college. I went to seminary. I got married in this very place. And that person is now the youth minister here, and we have 2 lovely children. So my life has been redeemed in so many ways from that awful situation, and the community is really what showed me what we can all do when we each use our gifts and when we follow God.
Well, the word y'all. I love the word y'all. Ain't even in the dictionary, y'all. It means everything to me. It's a word that set me free. Wouldn't be here unless it were for y'all. Y'all took my hand, helped me sell my place. Y'all clothed me and fed me, treated me with grace. Y'all taught me how to get along in this world. Y'all taught me how be a winning kind of girl. I said, y'all, it's not even in the dictionary book. One of the most important words anywhere at all. So never forget, war when surrounded by a threat. There's nobody better to help us than your. This is the time when we are going to ask you to help Amani Sasa.
Thank you, Ken. Giving is not just about making a donation. It's about making a difference. Well, good evening, friends of Amani Sasa, both old and new friends. We've heard so many, three very significant stories tonight, and earlier today during worship, Missy shared more stories, and then tonight she also shared her own story and a story about Jenna. And so I have a short story that I'd like to share. When I visited Amani Sasa 4.5 years ago, I sat around a table with mostly women. These were women who had fled violence and abuse from countries like Yemen, Somalia, Eritrea, the Congo, Ethiopia, and Sudan. These women shared their personal stories of how Amani Sasa literally saved their lives. They said words like, I was lost. I was without hope. One thing these women that I was spending time with all had in common was this. They had all fled mean people. My favorite story, however, was a story who came from a young woman, and I can't remember her name. I met so many amazing people. But this is what this young woman shared with me. She said, to me, Missy represented a new beginning, a new life. And so I named my baby girl Missy. Because every time I look at her, she reminds me of our new life. Friends, Amani Sasa needs our help. It is more expensive now, more than ever, to do their ministry. And did you know that Amani Sasa is the only nonprofit in Kampala that is a safe house for men, women, and children? The only safe house. Food bags for families now of 4 to 6 people have increased $20 each. The monthly food budget for the women's shelter has risen to more than $200 because of both the increase in the number of the residents and the costs. The situations they bring with them are becoming more complicated and more expensive for Amani Sasa to intervene. Families are more vulnerable now than ever before. And while Amani Sasa has an amazing staff who are willing to equip and to serve as many people as possible, funding and money is hard to raise. And when they have funds for food and for medical care, they can then provide more critical care. Please consider making a generous donation tonight. Inside the program, at the bottom of the inside page, you'll find ways to donate. There are 4 different ways that you can donate. You can simply scan this QR code. You can visit Amani Sasa's website and donate. You can write a check to Amani Sasa, or you can donate using a credit card in the lobby. Finally, I want to leave you with these words. Don't think about the ocean. Think instead about the drop of water that can make a difference. After all, the ocean is made up of drops of water. Will you be that drop of water to Amani Sasa?
Thank you, Tammy Snyder. You probably have heard Tammy is the new executive coordinator for the CBF Cooperative Baptist Fellowship of Florida. We're delighted to have her here at HAB today. And her predecessor is right behind her. Hello, Ray. Say hello, Ray. He looks like he's, a has-been, doesn't he? Did a wonderful job in prior to Tammy's term. But just want to make sure. Ray also is the board chairman of Amani Sasa. So I'm delighted that they both are here today. And if you want to know how you can help, anything you can do, talk to Ray. He's your guy. We're almost out of time. Lucky for you, because I've got stories about Amani Sasa. I want to tell you, but I don't get to. We'll have to do it again. But I was bragging about Amani Sasa 3 months ago at a family reunion with an uncle I had not seen in 20 years. He said, "Do you know Ken Medema?" Well, yeah. Well, I've been his friend for 30 years, and we work with him. We're going to send him to Jacksonville to do a concert to raise money for Amani Sasa, which Glenn Warner had never heard of. And here we are. He made this happen. That's because of that. Everything that you give tonight goes directly to those women, men, and children in Kampala that are so desperate for help. So be generous in any way you can. You can bid on our auction, but the more purer thing to do is to just write a check, make a donation, go to the website. All of that. You don't have to feel guilty about, buying stuff and commercializing this. Just give. Thank you also graciously for being here tonight. We will have a reception right afterwards. The auction goes on for just a few more minutes. We're probably 7:30, we're going to cut off the auction. So go run those prices up and help out this wonderful cause. And Ken?
Francis, come on up here and let's do our Amazing Grace. Y'all, we're going to do an upbeat version of Amazing Grace. We'll ask you to sing once we get rolling. But we're going to hear some wonderful, wonderful guitar work to start with. And tell me when you're ready, boss. I would have suggested, by the way, that you can sell your boat, sell your second car, sell your grandkids. Oh, no. With the key of F. Yep. Ready for your... Amazing Grace. Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now taught. Was grace that taught. Let me hear you sing. My heart's in fear. And grace my fear relieved. How precious is that grace appeared. The hour I first believed. Through many dangers, storms and snares, I have already come. 'Twas grace that brought me safe that far, and grace will lead me home. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. First verse again. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. Good night. The auction waits. Thank you. Thank you. It was a good time. Thank you. Thank you. All right.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you so much. You're dismissed. There are offering plates at the door on your way out if you've already made out your check. QR code is in your bulletin. So many ways to give. Please help us out. Thank you for being here.